Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we'll be doing the box tutorial. Let's go. My name is Ali Ape.
Alright, now you scale up the curve and then you go press on freeze transformations in the modify tab, and this will make sure that everything is on 0 0 on default. Alright, now with that out of the way, select the cube and press Ctrl J 4 times. Now you will make 4 groups, each parented to the last group, and you will make left, right, up, down for each sides of the cube on the bottom of it. Now, you press on one of the groups, which is the left group, and then you press D and press V to align the groups or the controller to the edge of the cube.
Press V, make it snap to the edge. There you go, and repeat the steps for all of it. So this is the right.
And now for up, not up, should be front. So I'm going to change it to front and change down to back. That's the back, and now it's the front. So now you have left, right, front, and back. And now what you want to do is just choose the curve with the controllers and use set driven key to control how the cube should be animated. So now look at the transform attributes in your attribute editor, and you can check which value is moving, and you can from there tell which value that you should choose to change in your set driven key. So we should choose the curve, and we should load it as a driver, and then you choose the controller and you load it as a driven. So we'll do this one by one. So now you choose the left controller and you choose the curve controller. Once they are all loaded into their own respective driver and drivens, so you choose the translate X, and then you choose the rotate Z, which I will make sure. Yep, should be rotate Z. And then now you're choosing both of them as the subject. And now you press key so that their default state of 0 0 are now keyed together. So you will choose the curve first with the translate X selected, and then you put it on -1, and then you choose the left controller, and then you put it on 90 degrees. And now you key it, and once it's keyed, it's gonna be 90 degrees when translate X is on -1, and it will be on 0 degrees when it's on, well, translate X 0. So now you just repeat the same step for the left, right, front, and back. When you choose the right or the next controller, make sure that the curve is on 0. So everything is on default. And once you're done with that, you choose the controller that you want, and then you press load driven. No need to use load drivers because you're using the same driver. Just choose that one controller that you need and choose load driven. Now all you need to do is just double check which translate axis is using and make sure it's on 0. And now we go to the right controller too, and then we'll now check for which rotation axis is gonna use to rotate the cube. What you can do is press on the controller, press E, and check which color. So red is X, Y is green, and Z is blue, which in this case is highlighted. And now just go to the controller curve, translate it to X, and have the Z axis of the rotation to 90 degrees. You can do it manually, so it's negative 90 in this case, and then you just press key. And now as you can see, it's moving left and right with no problems. And now we can move on to the front and back. So now you choose the front, and then you press load driven, and you check for the rotation of axis. So in this case, it's the x-axis. You can check it by moving the values once again. And now you just key it, the x-axis and the translation, which in this case is translate Z. You can check it by moving the values again. Remember to press translate Z on your driver's key. And now just press key. Now the translate Z is keyed to 0 and the rotation X is keyed to 0. And now just do the same thing. Move the translate Z to positive 1. And then you rotate X to 90 degrees. There we go. And now the rotate X is keyed to 90 when the translate Z is 1. Now onto the last one, it's the same thing. Just reset everything back to 0, press on the curve. Now set the back control as a driven. Yes, load it to driven. And then you check which rotation axis is using. In this case, it's also using rotation X. And then the other one is going to be using translation Z. You can check the axis once again by pressing W. And then you just key both to 0. And then you just repeat the steps. So you can check the translation value, put it to -1 on the Z translate. And then for the back, do the rotation check again, -90. Make sure to do everything in one go before you key it. And now that it's done, just key it again. And now everything is good to go. And now to clean up your animation, you can check that the issue is that there's a y-axis going on. So what you want to do is go to your limit information in your attribute editor. And then you go to translate. Then you check the Y translation. So it's going to be called trans Y. So you put the minimum and the maximum to both 0. Enable it. And it will lock the Y axis. And then you just enable max and minimum on the X and Z to be -1 and 1. And now by resetting everything back to 0, you can see that the Y is locked and the X and Z axis are both working just fine.